welcome to Mind Your Business, the channel where we are in everybody's business. If you don't mind getting in people's business, you're on the right channel. Talking about current topics and gossip. So, the show is over, but the drama continues with possible new couples and cast members needing therapy and a fight on the cards. Let's get into it. While I support my crew, let's talk about the latest updates from the Married at First Sight UK cast. Well, we all saw the fight, that happened between Luke and Jordan and, the continued shade that happened throughout the show. We know that obviously Luke got kicked off the show ultimately, for scrapping. So basically, what's really interesting is they are taking their beef to the ring and both have agreed to box it out for charity. Now, the boxing match is apparently happening on the 9th of February at the O2 and has been labelled Married at First Fight. Now, what's interesting is who is actually supporting who from the cast. Well, Jordan's main supporter is Erica, while Luke has quite a lot of support. He's got support from Terence, from Brad, from Tasha, from Thomas and from Paul. Some of the others have decided not to choose a side at all, and those are Roz, George, Peggy, Matt and Adrienne. So in other news, the Tab has reported that Brad is now working at Savers in Grimsbury. Now, we all know him on Married at First Sight, he was labelled as being a model. So maybe he's doing this to make money in between jobs. Maybe it was a message from the universe to go and help some people in Grimsby save some money with Savers. I don't know. What do you guys think? And OK Magazine actually did an interview with Adrienne and she actually revealed that she sought therapy after the show, how she found it to be so overwhelming. And I think that was really interesting as well, because I'm thinking, well, how many people actually on the show sought therapy after the show? And I wonder how much aftercare is actually given in these shows. And I've mentioned that before in some of my videos, but I do really wonder when I hear things like this. Now, in other Adrienne news, actually, there's rumours that she is possibly dating Nathaniel. So we know Nathaniel for, being married to Ella, and Ella obviously cheating on him with JJ. And obviously Adrienne was with Matt, and Matt we know is now with Shona. So Adrienne and Nathaniel have been spotted out on a dinner date, and, they have shared photos of each other on their Instagram. So people are wondering, are they together? Now, this hasn't been confirmed. At the moment, they might just be friends, but if they are dating, I think they make quite a cute couple. What do you guys think? But back to the fight. What do you guys think about Luke and Jordan, taking their beef to the ring and, basically putting on a fight for charity? What do you think about this? Because I think this is an interesting situation because, I think it's good that it's going to be for charity. It's a way for them to still keep the name out there, but I thought it was an interesting move. I can see that. I feel a bit bad for Jordan because no one seems to be having his back on the cast besides his woman, of course. So, wishing them both luck. I haven't decided what I want the outcome to be because I do feel like Jordan was just a truth teller on the show. So a part of me, because he's the underdog and no one's backing him, a part of me wants him to win. But obviously I just don't want no one to get seriously hurt. That's the main thing. But what do you guys think about them fighting? And what do you think about what's happening with people who go on the show and seem to have therapy afterwards because of the amount of overwhelm that they are dealing with? I mean, Adrienne's one. I know Luke has alluded to that himself as well. We all know that it was quite a lot for a lot of people that are on the show. It's overwhelming anyway. But I think it was interesting that that's happened. Peggy and George are also still together. Peggy has recently confirmed that because I think people were thinking that they weren't together. They are still together and still going strong as well. And in other news, JJ did admit that he did have sex with Ella after, his split with Bianca, despite denying it, which I thought was interesting. All this stuff starts coming out afterwards. And also, I don't know if you noticed, but Jordan has cut his hair, much to the delight of Erica. She was very happy to see that he has chopped off his Grealish look. What do you guys think? Also, what I did think was interesting is I saw an article also on OK Magazine, like Adrienne's interviews with OK Magazine and this interview with Jordan, where he actually spoke about some of the co-cast being basically a bit like puppets and, being a bit fake. I thought it was also interesting where he made reference to apparently Tasha and Luke would often exclude them from chats. And I thought that was interesting because obviously if you've got Tasha that's set up a WhatsApp group, then I'm sure she would have left Erica out of it. And if Luke has a WhatsApp group with the boys, then he would have left Jordan out of it. So I can see where potentially, they would have been pushed to the side a little bit, which I thought was also interesting. Now, I do think it was interesting in Adrienne's interview that she mentioned that she doesn't believe that she would ever necessarily get married. So she went on the show because it meant that she'd get to have a wedding and all the whole, shebang. But, it's not really real anyway. So she could, have a fake wedding essentially. And I thought that was interesting because the show should really be trying to find people who actually want to actually get married. And I mean, even Mark, he's even come out and said that basically he wishes that he never went on the show also. Now, Mark, we know that he was paired with Sean. That didn't go very well. But he has definitely come out saying that basically he thought that Married at First Sight would make him famous. But he actually lost his job and some of the co-stars don't answer his calls, is what he said in an article with OK Magazine. And I thought that was quite interesting because he actually mentions that he thought he'd be living the high life, going to events, doing lots of Instagram stuff, and that life would be better after being on the show. And he feels like he was missold a dream. So I'm like, what kind of vetting are they doing for these people? Because everyone sounds like they came on here to be famous. A lot of people came on here to be famous, is what it sounds like to me. And I really pointed out in one of my other videos that Laura was on a Celebrity Go Dating show. Nathaniel's been on other shows as well. So it does make you think, well, how many people are out here doing this? Mark actually says that if he'd known he'd be there for such a short amount of time, he wouldn't have bothered to do it. And apparently he's been forced to take a pay cut to return to his old job, which is really unfortunate. But yeah, I don't know. What do you guys think about that? I think if you're going to go on this show, you need to go on this show for the right reasons. I feel like Mark and Sean were kind of, brought in a bit later on, and that was because of some of the things that were happening, like couples leaving before time, or just the way it kind of went in the end. But what do you guys think about that? I feel like people need to vet to make sure that they're getting people on for the right reasons, not because they want to be famous, because they actually do want to get married, not because they want to have a fake wedding and just see what it feels like to get married. I think they need to be a bit more careful with their vetting anyway. But what do you guys think of that? Who will you be backing? Will you be backing Jordan? Are you team Jordan? Are you team Luke? Do you even care that they're fighting? Will you go? Because it's at the O2 in London. Will you be going to the O2 and supporting and buying a ticket to see what happens? What are your thoughts about this whole situation? Let me know your thoughts below. Yes, so thanks for watching that. Don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, share, and hit that notification bell so you know when I am uploading some more of people's business. So until then, my nosy people, stay blessed.